Hello everyone. So in the last video, we have seen till these three steps. That means we have added all the uh, dependencies and also we have created the page objects for login page. So let me show you that. So we have created the login page and then the respective elements which are there in the login and then we have added the respective actions. So now I wanted to create my base test case. What is my base test case? My base test case is to log into the application and verify the title and then log out from the application. So this is my basic test case. So when I say basic test case, I would like to explain you one more thing here. So if I have to do another test case, let us say adding new customer. If I have to do this again, what I have to do? I have to log in and then I have to log out from the application after I perform the required action. So similarly, if I have another test case, I have to log in and then I have to search for the user and then delete the user and then log out from the application. Assume these three are three different test cases. This is my test case 1, this is my test case 2, and this is my test case 3. So if you look at these three test cases, this is common. Login and logout methods are common in all these test cases. That means we can make them as reusable. So what do you mean by reusable? You will write one time this method and you will make use of that wherever it is required. So to do that, what we have to do is we have to create a base class. So we know a concept in Java OOPS, that is inheritance, right? So when I talk about inheritance, I will have all the things which are common in my base class and then I will have the my test cases, each test case in one class, and so I will extend this test cases to my base class. What does it mean? Whatever the test case classes I have, I can, if I extend that to my base class, all the methods which are there in the base class can be used in my test cases. That means I no need to write the code repeatedly. So that is what the purpose of a concept called inheritance. So we will see how to do that. So let's go and create a new class, that is base class. Go to the test cases and create new, and then you are going to create the base class. So under this objects, under this you have to have new class, then base class. Click on finish. So what is that we are going to have it in our base class? So first of all, you need to understand what are all the things you need to have for your application. Let us say I have listed out what are all the uh, parameters we are going to have. So let's say I need to have the URL. I have called it as base URL. This is my URL of the application. And then we are going to have the username and we are going to have the password. And then I will define WebDriver as WebDriver. Let me take this and copy and paste it into my base class. So you need to have the username and password, right? For that, what I'm going to do is I'll go to the application and then I'll take the application and get my latest user ID and password. So if you wanted to generate latest user ID and password, click here and then enter your email ID and click on submit. You will get the latest user ID and password. So copy this user ID and put it here, colon, and then you will have your password here. Okay. So once that is done, just close the application. You can close the application. So now what I want you to do is, okay, so look at here. When you declare WebDriver, you have to import the respective WebDriver class. So the package is org.openqa.selenium. Just import that, then this is done. Now I wanted to have one method which is common across all the classes. Before I have any class, let's say before launching any class, what I have to do is I wanted to have login method that I am going to write public void. I'll say it as initialize, and then so inside of this I am going to write system dot set property, and you need to have the driver name web driver dot, since we are working for Chrome, I'll be writing it for Chrome WebDriver, and then you need to write the path of the project. So where is that? You just right click here and then go to properties, and here you can see the properties of the project. Just scroll it down. See here you have the project path. Take this entire path. You wanted to go here, just go here, and then where is your drivers? You just go here, and inside you will have drivers. Copy this entire thing and put it here. Okay, and then Chrome driver.exe. So once you have written the properties, then what you have to do is you have to initialize the browser. How do you do that? Enter driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So this is the way you will initialize the browser. Just import the required packages, and then see here before class, this is a testng method. That's the reason you have to import the testng annotation. See, import before class org.testng annotation. Make sure that you are importing the testng annotations only. So once that is done, what is the next step? That means every time whenever you are trying to invoke the browser, you are trying to launch the Google Chrome, and if you wanted to write driver dot get URL, you can write that URL method also here. That means it will invoke the browser all the time. That browser will be invoked, and after that what you have to do is all the time, once the test is completed, you are going to close the uh, application. So I'll write it as public void shutdown. Let's say a log off, anything, you can, whatever you want, you can write it. So what you are going to do, you are going to write the driver dot quit method. So once that is done, so this will be used at after the class, right? So at the rate after class. What does it mean? It will be used once you complete your test or class. So this is the way you will have all the things which are common across all the test cases. You will put it into the base class. So once the base class is done, now what you're going to do is you are going to have your actual test case. So you go to the test cases and then create one more test. So where is that? You go here and then right click new class. You have to write your test case name. So what is your first test case? You are going to have your first test case. You can give any name, whatever you want. I am giving it as tc underscore login underscore 01. That is my first test case. So once you have your first test case, click on finish. So now if you look at here, your first test case is done, but I have told you a concept. You have to extend this class to base class, because you need to have the properties which are properties or methods which are there in my base class. That means I am extending my test case to my base class. So here what I can do is I can write a method. That means that is my actual test. This is my test public. My test name is login is my test, or else login verify login I'll write. Okay, verify login is my first test case. And then you will be writing. So since you have written the annotation, you import the respective annotation, and then your browser is already invoked. Now what you have to do is you have to write the method. Okay, so if you look at your base class where you are launching the application here, see here, you are launching this, and see now you have to switch between these windows. So now what I wanted to do is I don't want to do like this. Okay, I wanted to see both the windows at the same time. How do I do? You just select the window whatever you wanted to see, drag and drop here, automatically both the windows you will be able to see. You can see side by side. So now what I wanted to do is I wanted to access the elements which are there in my page objects. So if you look at your page objects login page, you will have it here. So if you wanted to access that also, just drag and put it here, then automatically you will be able to see that as well. See, you have all the methods. Login page you can see, and here you can see that also. Okay, if you are getting confused, just close all of them and you can see only the thing whichever you wanted to see. Okay, so now what I wanted to do is I wanted to define the object for this page object. Let me take the page objects. Okay, so the class name here is login page. I am taking the login page is LP is equal to new login page. So now I have created one instance for the login page, lp dot set username. That is my first thing, correct? So what is your username? You have already captured your username here. You have assigned it in the base class. Just select the username, and then see here there is a error here. So constructor login page is created. Arguments to login. Yeah, you have to pass the WebDriver as well, right? So you have to pass the driver, and then what is the next one? lp dot set password, and then lp dot click method. So once that is done, what is your next step? So you have to verify whether that login page has properly displayed the title or not. So how do you know the title? You have to go to the application and see. Okay, let me take the URL. I'll be taking the URL, copy, and then go to your application, and then you right click on this page. Okay, before that you log into the page, take the user ID and password whatever you have, go to your base class, your username, and then your password also you have here, copy, paste it here, and once you log in you will right click and then inspect, and then you will see the page here, and then check for the title of the page. So control F and you just write title. TITLE. See here, the title of the page is Guru 99 Bank Manager homepage. Copy this title and keep it in your script. Okay, you have to verify that. So how do you verify? How do you verify that? So you have to write the code again for that. So that means after you click on that, if driver dot get title. So that means you are going to get the title of the page. What is the title? Equals. So what is that title name you have captured here, right? Just control X and then put it here and then put it in the double quotes, and then in the double quotes, and after you verify that, what you have to do is you have to do the assertion. So what do you mean by assertion? You are going to verify whether that is true or false. So assertion is also one of the concept in our TestNG. Assert dot assert true. Assert true. So if that is displayed, then you are saying it as true. Else, if it is not there, then what would be your assertion? Else you will be saying that the assert is false. So that means the window did not match. So you can say false. So once you complete this, that means your base test case is done. Okay, I'm closing everything now. I wanted to run this particular test case. Okay, I'm closing all the windows which are